jump in. So the agenda for this call is first part is going to keep it pretty straightforward and short and sweet. I'll talk about a bit about social listening, why we should do Reddit and other platforms, but the major focus will be Reddit. And the second part will be an intro of Sensorhub. We also listen to a lot of your feedback, and there's a lot of new features that we're currently working on. So you're the first people to see those features. They're still on staging, not live, but yeah, we will see them hopefully next week, sometime next week, we'll be launching them. So if you don't know, Sensorhub, it's a social listening and monitoring platform. We find the most relevant conversations on Reddit, LinkedIn, and X, with the goal for you to engage with the best prospects, the hot leads, and also to rank up higher on SEO or whatever by mentioning your product wherever is possible. And since you're already on this call, hopefully I don't need to convince you about Reddit being a major channel and major signals for AOMs and answer engine optimization, but just share quickly with you a few numbers that you might seen or not seen. Reddit at this moment, at least last year, has been driving most of the transactional traffic, higher than Capterra, G2, Gartner, and other review websites here. So you can see here Reddit pretty up high there, and all of the other outlets, the green one, Capterra, and then G2 is somewhere here. So a lot of transactional queries on Google and also as well AOM platforms have been influenced significantly by Reddit. You've probably seen that a lot. Pretty much everywhere in top 5 results we see Reddit somewhere. And this seems to be also increasing right now. The high intent keywords from Reddit are around 4%. Last summer, actually, not this summer. And review website seems to flatline. Another pretty big one is how much citations AOMs consider from Reddit. It seems to be top source at the moment with around 40% of AOM citations across AI tools. And the next are Wikipedia and YouTube. There might be some differences about sources here stating, and also depends on the AOMs. Other platforms like ChatGPT, for example, might be citing Wikipedia more than Reddit. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's somewhere very up top high. So it's one of those platforms where we need to consider if we want to show up on AOMs. So the first question here is it mostly posts or comments when we talk about Reddit? Since Sensorhub is primarily for comments, so this is a huge question that we should answer in advance. And the answer is that posts as well, comments as well. Every Reddit comment has its own URL. And essentially they all get cited and returned to search, could be returned to search engine results, both by Google and also AOMs. They can be referenced by other documents. So more or less, that's how the situation could be summarized. It takes that point of view as a source of truth and may cite one or more of those comments, including Reddit, documents, including Reddit comments. And you can see here, I've shared a URL just to see a link to this exact. So you can see here in the URL is the comment, and this is where I actually quoted this from. Does that actually bring results, tangible results? I actually mentioned here Georgi's website, stockheat.com. Was it over 100 signups, or how many signups did you manage to get from that comment?
Well, in total, from the single post or comment, yeah, it was a comment, I got around 70 or 80.
Okay, so close to 100. I mean, that's pretty good if you ask me, just for a single comment. So yeah, there's tangible results we've seen. This resource, I'll share the presentation as well, you can see, but the strategy of this guy was pretty much just commenting, being and engaging regularly on Reddit and X. Mostly comments, but also posts. Shipper.now, another platform, lovable competitor. They went from 0 to 10K MRR from sharing, building in public, comments, and also engaging on Reddit. And there's multiple other, that's David from Shipper, multiple other startups that are doing pretty well. So yeah, there are real tangible results we've seen, and I'm sure some of you might also experience that as well. So first of all, what not to do, we already know that, but let's just make it clear. Spamming posts, there's so many platforms doing like social listening and automated posting. Do not do that. Do not post through API. So if there's a platform or tool that connects to your Reddit account and lets you automatically post either comments or posts, or I think it also applies to DMs, but I'm not completely sure. There's a very, very high chance you will get banned. Being overly promotional, dropping links, avoid links if possible. You can drop a link here and there, but from what I've seen from my experience and other people that do Reddit marketing, the best way to go for now is just to focus on mentions, cross-post comments and posts. So do not copy-paste a comment or post and go to other communities. This is no-go generally, in considering the Reddit cat. Using fake Reddit accounts, farms, stuff like that, very easy to spot. Admins are definitely against stuff like that. And also things like gatekeeping your valuable comments and, valuable assets or knowledge or whatever, asking people to DM and things like that might get you easily banned. So with that out of the way, let's go into Sensorhub, show you what we have, guys, and show you around the platform. The first bit here, I will go through the step-by-step process on how to analyze your company, actually how Sensorhub analyzes your company. You don't have to do anything. Then the next step that I would do to start basically create the core Reddit marketing steps just to have a good setup. And then I'll show you the actual signals, how to find them, how to track them, and so on. In the next part of the demo, I will look into some things that are a bit more advanced. Some of these features not live yet. So I'll let you know if a feature is live or not. So just let me know, do you see the user interface well enough? If you can like share a name, an emoji, or okay. All right, so good. Brilliant. So I'll just close this thing here. So the first thing when you sign up with Sensorhub, I think most of you have seen that, but when you add a new project, we analyze your website. So everything starts with your website. So it's really crucial to type in the right website. If you just type in a fake website or non-existent website, it will not find the relevant results for you. Also, if it's very thin on content, it might have a hard time finding the right results. So there's some niches that work well with Sensorhub and others don't. The general rule of thumb is if there are conversations around your niche on Reddit or on LinkedIn or X, it will find the right results. If there are no conversations, for example, extremely enterprise or extremely niche, then this will be an issue. When you create a project, I cannot create it right now since I've already created it, and that's a good thing to mention. We see some people adding their team members. If you want to add a team member, you can do that. We have a feature for that. Because you won't be able to create the account with the same domain name. So once you enter your website, we start analyzing it. I'm not going to do it right now. This might take between a couple of minutes up to 5-7 minutes, depending on how many signals we find. And the way we do it is we do an extremely deep analysis of your business. So we look into your unique selling points. We look at the key selling points, which is your value proposition, your ideal customer profile, your competitors, and we also find the most relevant subreddits. So there's a huge upfront cost for us. We spend a lot of credits to do a bespoke analysis of your business, and based on this analysis, we try to find the most relevant signals. So in this case, I'm looking at Encharge, which is an email marketing automation and platform. And you can see here the value proposition it was able to find, the key selling points. And I'd say this works pretty well, especially with ICPs and competitors. I'm pretty happy with the results we got. If for some reason you're not happy, you can edit them. We have a AI editor here that you can just type in, like, for example, I want to change the target persona, or I want to add a new persona. You can do that with the chat. So just this thing here alone could be very helpful for you to get ideas for the market. So, for example, you might have not considered all potential ICPs, and especially when it comes to competitors, you can see here for Encharge, it managed to find 19 of them, and for each one of those, there's their unique selling point, their weaknesses, trends, and this all gives you insights on how you can how you can target those conversations where competitors are mentioned. One super critical thing here that I'd like to mention is we find relevant subreddits. So what I encourage you to do as probably the first step, other than just reviewing the intel we have on your company, is to go to the most relevant ones here and join them in advance. One huge reason to do that, and something that many people miss, including me, is that if you're not a part of a subreddit, and if you submit a post or a comment, it will not show up. So it will be shadow banned in a way. So you need to join the subreddit for the comment to show up for the rest of the people on the subreddit, and for everyone else on Reddit. You will see your post, you think it's posted, it's there, but it won't be there. Another reason to do that is just to join those conversations in advance. So you're not the type of person that joins up today and then 5 minutes later they start commenting and posting and stuff like that. So we give you a good foundation here to look at the most relevant spaces. Of course, there's some other manual stuff that you can do if you have the time. Look at the rules and things like that. Are they okay with sharing links and also stuff like that? But all in all, this is probably the first thing you need to do. Then the next thing that I highly encourage you to do is a new feature that we currently are launching, is personal voices. So these are branded, customized voices, and these things here actually have huge impact on the quality of your responses. So the way it works is there's two types of voices you can create. One is if you want to post like yourself, and the other one is if you want to post as a customer. I generally do not encourage you to do that unless you maybe get customers on Reddit and you can generate like a comment for them and ask them to post that for you. Or if you want to if you have like a strong testimonial or something like that, maybe you could do that. But if you want to keep it authentic, my advice is to go with that one. And what we do here is, for example, let's call this voice Hello Co-founder. You can select the row or type it yourself. And then we ask you a bunch of questions, and this might take a bit. We ask you a bunch of customized questions based on which we pre-populate the brand profile for you. So just let's wait it for a couple more seconds here. And if it's taking longer, then I'll just show you the one that I already created. All right, so there is it. So how do you format your Reddit reply? So what is the general tone, health educational, how do you mention your role at Encharge? So these are, you can see, are personalized for your company. So this is pretty good one. So for example, as a founder who struggled with HubSpot, HubSpot was is still one of our competitors at Encharge. Full disclosure, I'm the co-founder of Encharge, so that sounds pretty good. Which Encharge features do you highlight most often? So this here again, we scraped the whole website, we looked at the features, and we already know that Encharge has integration with Stripe, Segment, and HubSpot. These are one of our biggest unique selling points. I'm going to select those. And then, so how we want to talk about competitors, call out their expensive punishing pricing models. That's definitely true for HubSpot. where and charge is focused on SaaS. So yes, that's a big one. Share real stories of customers. Yep, so those are great. Based on that, I click create voice, and then it will populate the brand voice for Kalo co-founder, which I can then later select for. And you can see here, there's a background experience, personality tone, goals, writing style, other instructions. All these things have been pre-populated based on your answers, but you can also make some changes here. So for example, I mean, we already do that, so we avoid M dashes, but just, just to make sure, do not use M dashes. Maybe I can say make some occasional typos here and there and things like that. And there's other instructions here. So once I'm happy with that, I'll click save, and then I can use these personas here. Now, by the time you've done that, you already have your first signals live. So we also send notification when the signals go, when we find the signals. So a bit about signals, we look at tens of thousands of signals for almost every given business. And you can see there's over 2,000 for Encharge. And then once we do the initial analysis and find the initial signals, then we also do that on an ongoing basis and try to find the most relevant conversations for your specific business. By the way, does it make sense so far, guys? Any questions or something that's weird? Okay. Oh, good. All right. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. If there's anything, just interrupt me because I'm not sure I can see the chat box here. But yeah, so there's a lot of signals here that you get initially, but we try to make it easier for you to filter them. And that's also some of the new features that are coming up that I'll talk about in a bit. But we try to make this interface like an inbox, so it's very natural for you to manage and go through all of them. And we also have shortcuts. So if I press on the down key on my keyboard, I can just go through all of these. And so the first thing I would do here is I would look at the hot leads. So we score every signal, every conversation based on how relevant it is for you. And where we talk about hot leads, we talk about 85% and above. So you can see the scoring here. So these will be leads that are extremely relevant. So maybe someone asking or evaluating a competitor. So let's look at the hot leads for Encharge. And so that's the one. Yeah, so that's the one we need. Okay, friends, what is your favorite MailChimp alternative? So this one is even LinkedIn. We do not get that many on LinkedIn because that's simply how the communication happens on LinkedIn. But in this case, we managed to catch one, which was from, I think, yesterday. So LinkedIn has updated their pricing plans, and LinkedIn is a competitor of Encharge, for those who don't know. So this is user explicitly asked, and here you can see why what was our rationale for sharing that conversation. This matches the Encharge domain, marketing, automation, email campaign. Intent is transactional and exploratory. And let's look for others. Yeah, again, another one. I assume that's also connected to MailChimp increasing their prices. So you can see there's a lot of these. My marketing tech stack was costing that much. I finally fixed it. Maybe you can input your tool in those conversations, maybe not be so promotional, but yeah, hot leads are essentially the ones where people are looking for a competitor or evaluating businesses in your space. So those are the ones that you need to start with. And then we have high potential, which are might be also interesting. So these are the ones that I will definitely look at for selling signals, as in someone you can sell to. That being said, there's also value in older conversations that are not exactly transactional or so commercial. The reason for that is that there might be places where you can input your thought knowledge. There might be other conversations that are ranked higher on the SERP page, because as we know, usually older pages have higher authority. And also that's one for you, Kao. We are launching most popular sorting feature. So you can actually see the conversations with the highest likes and comments. So if I go, for example, to hot leads and then sort them by most popular, then we can see the ones that are quite relevant and also extremely engaged in terms of comments and likes. So going back to what I was saying, there's value in other conversations that are not super relevant. And this is particularly pertains to Reddit, where we might rank our comment higher because this conversation might be ranking on the search engine results page, and we also noted this one here. We actually also plan, hopefully sometime in the near future, to have SEO stats here and show you conversations that are have SEO juice. But yeah, as you can see, you can filter by sources, you can filter by the category. And something that we also currently are going to launch is a little CRM. So the ability to mark something as to do, in progress, or done. So for example, let's say I find this one important, I mark it as to do, and then I can only see the ones that are, that I need to do, that I need to respond to. This is very good if you're working with a VA or someone that you need to outsource that work. And something that I really love here is the ability to save filters, but maybe I'll show you this one a bit later. First, let me mention this one here. We also added a filter for time, so you can see if you really want to go like only focus on sales, maybe you go last 12 hours, last 24 hours, and then, I mean, it will find fewer conversations, but they will be relevant, or like at least recent. So if that's your approach, you can do that. If you wanna do it more for AEO, we also have the option for older than a year. So these ones will be all conversations that are most likely ranked very high with that many likes and comments, because I'm still sorting by popularity. So I'm pretty sure this will definitely rank somewhere high. So yeah, that's that's another approach that you can take. And going to filters, so what we did here is we give you the option to save specific filters, so you can create filters, for example, for sales, or have another filter for SEO, or maybe have specific filter for hot leads only, or hot leads from Reddit. You don't have to go here every single time and check and uncheck them. You can just save the filter, for example, other Reddit convos, save that. And then I can come back at any time here and select that filter, and it will be available for me. And then I can only look at the conversations, the unread conversations that apply to this filter. So that's as far as signals. Let me see what I have here. So we went through that. Okay, next one, drafting responses. So let's go back to the hot leads. And maybe new list first, remove that, maybe go last 7 days, and alternatives to MailChimp. So maybe let's try with this one. Let's see, because I already responded to this one, so maybe let's go with another one. So now that's where you create, we help you generate drafts. And this is where you can select the voice that we created in the previous steps. So co-founder Kalo, I can also give it some additional context, and if you want, you can go like mention, pseudo mention. Let's go with pseudo mention. So this is your business, the mention of your business. So whether you want to, mention it directly or don't mention it at all. One rule of thumb: if you're new to the subreddit, it's best to not mention your product, at least in the first couple of comments, unless it's extremely relevant. Maybe in this case, this guy is asking for a cheaper alternative, so I guess it's okay to have a pseudo mention. So let's generate a AI draft. This will, the agent will use the instructions that we gave it for this specific brand voice. And then, it will generate that answer. So let's see what we have here. I think it's a bit on the longer end, so I will go with keep it shorter. Maybe see if that helps. Okay, that's slightly shorter. I have been down that exact rabbit hole. The problem with stacking tools is that you end up spending more time acting as an IT admin for your own business than actually doing marketing, which I agree with. If you're tired of integrating headache, here is how I think about the landscape right now. HubSpot is great if you have a massive budget and need to know in one suite, but it usually gets expensive fast as you go. Go high level is solid for agencies that need a Swiss Army knife to manage client reporting under one roof. Tools like Encharge are worth a look if you're specifically looking on product-like SaaS flows where you need deep native integration. This is my tool, by the way, and you can see it mentioned the integrations that we gave it as instruction in our brand voice step. So yeah, and there's the full disclosure. I'm the co-founder of Encharge. So this is a very, very decent comment, if you ask me. I mean, probably very minor changes that I would make here. I would probably shorten it even a bit more. But yeah, that's more or less how I would go with responding to that. And yeah, I can now mark it as done. If then, of course, before I do that, I can copy and open Reddit. And then again, make sure that you have joined. I haven't joined here, so I'm not I'm not doing my own advice, but we have some double spaces. We might have to look into that here. And maybe I'll remove that last bit. If it's not enough, I was going to protest. But yeah, that's a decent comment that I would definitely post here. Maybe even keep it even shorter than that. But for now, I don't want to spend more time, editing that right now on the call with you guys. But in a real worst case scenario, I would shorten it even a bit more. And you can see what's the strategy that it took here. So helpful, casual, transparent founder, these are the tags. Break down the pros and if you for some reason you're super unhappy with the answer, you can still take some advice from the strategy. So break down the pros and cons of specific CRM integrations, discuss how to handle data sync issues without Zapier, share a checklist for migrating email automation. So these are decent advice that you can use. So these are drafts. Again, as you can see here, we do not automatically post on Reddit. We don't want you to get banned. We don't want you to spam Reddit. Ideally, you'd make some changes here and keep it authentic and just be yourself and try to provide value to people. Let's see what we have on the list here. The next thing is notifications. So if these notifications are per user, by the way, not per workspace. So, for example, the CMO might just want to see weekly notifications with signals. If you have a VA or someone involved on a day-to-day basis, they can see these notifications on a daily basis. So what we have here, we have real-time alerts. These are for keyword matches. I'll talk about keyword matches next. Hot leads and high potential. So these are the ones that you really need to be on time. As soon as possible, we send you email notification as soon as we can. And then there's the different categories from the signal sections, from signal section, and you can decide whether you want to receive them on a daily basis, on a weekly digest, or if for some reason maybe you don't want to receive them at all. So you can see here I've turned off inspiration because I don't find it very valuable to me right now. And you can see weekly digest for trust builders, or maybe I would even do for high potential, do weekly digest. And the best thing is that you can choose when you want to get them delivered, which day that's for the weekly digest, for your in your time zone, and the delivery. So very important. If you want to be, and I'm sure most of you already know that, the sooner you comment, especially for hot leads, the higher the chances are for you to get more likes and then be ranked higher. All right, so I think with that, we pretty much covered the step-by-step process of how I would use Sensorhub. The next part of the demo that I will show you is more advanced features. So these are things that you don't have to do. So all of them are optionals, optional. So you can just take what we have so far and start with Sensorhub. But if you want to be more proficient with Sensorhub, then stay on track. And again, if you have any questions, guys, feel free to interrupt me. All right, so the next one on the list we have is the keywords, which is another new feature that we added. So why you need keywords? Keywords under data. There's a couple of reasons that you might want to track specific keywords. So what we mean by keywords is these are words or key phrases that we will use to track future signals and also to categorize the existing signals. So for every keyword that you add, we will categorize the previous signals and also start looking for new conversations that contain that exact match keyword. There's a couple reasons that you want to do that. First, we give you more control. So maybe you know a specific customer, like in my case, I've added customer.io, a specific competitor. In my case, I added customer.io and user list. Or maybe there's a specific keyword that you want to target that is very valuable to you. That's one way to go. Another approach, another reason that you would want to use keywords is if for some reason the keyword that you're tracking, that you want to track, is not related to your current website. So it's very important to understand how we find signals. We analyze your website. So if for some reason, let's say Encharge is an email marketing platform for SaaS, but we're currently building a new feature for e-commerce. We don't have a landing page, we don't have any help docs, we don't have any content on our website which is related to e-commerce. So Sensorhub will not find any signals related to e-commerce. So for that reason, if you want to track conversations related to e-commerce, what you want to do here is add that as a specific keyword. And then moving forward, it takes a bit for us to find those new conversations. We'll send you an email. We'll start searching conversations that mention this specific keyword. Going back to the signals, we are still fine-tuning those. So there might be, what I'm showing you here might not be extremely on point. So, but the idea here really is to show you the conversations that exclusively mention that keyword. We are also going to show you, so there is another one, that one, okay, that one's pretty good. So you can see here, customer.io user list, we also highlight those keywords were mentioned. In this case, they were mentioned in the title, and you can see here that's a very, very relevant. Someone is comparing us to our competitors. So even though that conversation is old, I would definitely want to share my response there, because I'm pretty sure if I type in customer.io versus Encharge, there you go. I think that's the one. Is it this one? Oh, that's a different one. But I think we also found this one with Brevo. But yeah, anyways, this one is very important to be on. So another important thing to mention about keyword match. For keyword match conversations, we do not score the relevancy. The reason for that is that, again, as we said, that we score relevancy based on what you already have on the website. So if for some reason you decided to add something that's not on the website, it will just show very low relevancy, which will not be very helpful to you. So we kind of give you the control with keywords. It's up to you to decide if the keyword is relevant or not. Hopefully, if you've entered the keyword, then we assume that you believe it's relevant. So we won't score those conversations. We just tell you it's a keyword match. It's up to you then to decide whether you want to respond or not to that conversation. And also, because going back to the notifications, because we do not score them, they will not fall under hot leads, high potential, or any of the other categories. So there's a separate categories for keyword match. So you will receive a daily digest or a weekly digest for keyword matches. And also we include them in the real-time alerts because we assume that if you want a keyword, if you add a keyword, then you believe it's a very important one for you. And you can see here the keywords in the under the title of the thread. So for your convenience, and of course you can also filter by keywords. So just make it as convenient as possible for you to find those relevant conversations. Next one, relevancy score. Another one that was very much requested by some of you guys. So we train the AI agent based on your relevancy suggestions. So this is the relevancy score. I'll just turn off. I'll just turn on conversations without keywords because the relevancy score is more relevant to them. So this is the relevancy score, 65%. And we give you the option to suggest whether topics related to this conversation, to this signal, are relevant or not. And the way we do that is for every single signal, we try to find the relevant topics. So for example, in this case, what marketing advice sounds smart but almost never works? That's not the perfect one. Let's go with something more straightforward. Maybe hot leads. This one about HubSpot, very high relevancy. Let's see what topics it finds for this. So yeah, that's the one. Platform bloat frustration. Is this relevant to me or not? I'd say it's quite relevant. Marketing sales misalignment, extremely relevant for Encharge, so I'll give it 50%. So these are actual percentages that increase the relevancy score that you see here. And as soon as you do that, or you can see, for example, attribution reporting issues, Encharge is very bad at attribution, so that's definitely not a relevant topic for us. You can preview how this scoring will potentially impact conversations. So what we do here, when you click on preview impact, in this case, it didn't find any topics that could be impacted, but we will show you and we'll tell you, okay, so based on these rules that you're currently applying, this topic would have scored lower, or this topic, similar topics to this will score higher. So just give you an idea, because this could have a very high impact on the type of signals that you receive. So you don't want to mess up drastically things here. So yeah, we just give you some idea. When I confirm and save the rules, these relevancy rules are saved, and any future conversations will be scored based on these relevancy rules. And if you want to change them in future, you can go to data again. Under keywords, relevancy, you can see the topics that you have boosted and the topics that I have reduced in the past. And I can, if for some reason decide it's not a good idea, then I can delete them. And what's also cool, if you find some post that's really relevant, for example, let's go with this one. And I know that we already found that one and it was ranked pretty high, but anyways, what I can do here is I can, sorry about that. I can add it as an example. It will analyze the post. So if you find something that Sensorhub didn't manage to find, you can You can paste the actual post here. It works with, again, with Reddit, LinkedIn, and X. And then you can score the topics based on how relevant this is. So CRM integration requirements, super relevant. Marketing stack complexity, quite relevant. We do have and charge Salesforce integration capabilities, so that's extremely relevant. We also have lead scoring, and we also have workloads. So let's see if this time it finds any. Okay, didn't find any again, but anyway, so those rules are very important to me, so I'll score them. And I'm teaching the algorithm, I'm teaching the AI to find new signals based on that. Sorba popularity, already mentioned that. I also talked about AO signals versus sales signals and how to use the time frame. Another one, which is a bit hidden now, but we have it, is the ability to add knowledge to your data. Right now, it doesn't support file upload. It's something we're working on. But what you can do is paste a help doc article, for example, or some URL that is very important and relevant to your business. And based on the content of this page, Sensorhub will start analyzing new signals and will also improve your answers based on that content. So essentially, we are teaching the algorithm here. We're teaching the agent to respond using your using your web pages, websites, help docs, and so on, other content assets you have as help sources and as guidance. And then let's go something for the agencies. If you want to export those signals and also that intelligence, we allow you to do that. We have a very advanced report. So by advanced, I mean that you can pretty much export everything we have here. So let me see if I can open this one here. So you can see, look at the scroll bar. So these are all of the signals, like literally all of the signals, all of the intelligence at the top. And you can just dump that into ChatGPT or whatever LLM you're using and use that data even to do maybe something like analysis or, any other insightful data that you can get and answers that you can get from all of these signals that we were able to find. Or if you want to be more specific, you can only select hot leads and then just go with that. So you can be as specific as you want. Or again, if you're an agency, you can share that with the client and maybe just charge them straight away just for that report. I'm pretty sure you can probably get some good money on just from that report. And as you can see right now, we don't have any branding or anything here in the HTML report. And even if we did, you can you can make some changes and style it to whatever you fancy. And now, last but not least, for the AI geeks and automation people here, we do have an agent that you can chat with. This is Genie, and you can do, again, all of the data is here. So for example, I can say review competitors. It will look at the signals from all of the signals that mentioned competitors. Also look at our intel, and it will tell you whatever you want to know. Or maybe I can say something like show me all Reddit threads related to customer.io. Again, we'll look at the signals. So yeah, what sucks about customer.io, that's a good one with the subreddit. So these are actual conversations. Right now, we don't give you the links to the conversations, but that's something on the pipeline. So if you want to look at if you want to find that specific conversations, why it's not finding that? Let's try another one, maybe. Okay, so we might need to look into that, but generally you should be able to find the conversations if you type them here and find another one which is very relevant. It was actually the one that I was talking about a bit earlier. And again, last but not least, we also have an MCP I just tried it today. Launching it hopefully next week or very soon. But all of these data, all of the Genie data, will be available in whatever platform I want to use to connect with MCPs. So, for example, I connected it with Cloud, and it's very straightforward to connect. There's just one URL that you need to enter. And just so you know, guys, I'm not technical in any way, so it took me just a couple of clicks to do it. So if I manage, then I'm sure you'll be able to do it as well. And you see the Sensorhub connector here. And of course, you can chat with it and cross-reference data, dump other data here if you want. Maybe I also have the Hrefs MCP connected here, so I can give it signals to Hrefs and then look at the SEO value for specific signals. But just to give you an example here, Sensorhub show me already. Make sure to mention Sensorhub, otherwise Claude will start looking into web and other places. Show me already trades discussing and charge competitors, and specifically start with customer.io. So already did that a bit earlier, but let's do it again. Hopefully it will be pretty quick. It was pretty fast the last time I tried it. And if it's just taking too long, I'll just show you the answer here, but it was pretty good. Here's a full breakdown of Reddit threads monitoring, mentioning customer.io alongside Encharge. And it's here we also have the links to the conversation. So that's pretty good as well. If you use customer, so there you go, another one. Should I use Brace customer.io instead of Mixpanel? And then there's the reasoning for for why we include this conversation, broader competitor threads, also hot leads. And you can go, yeah, it also managed to find them this time. There you go. Struggle with their integration offering. So this one is another one. So you can go pretty crazy here and do a lot of crazy stuff here if you're up for that. But I think that's all for me, guys. We still have the 50% off. So the launch party, probably ending it next week. So if you want to take advantage of that, by the time of, for the next 6 months, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to launch a lot of other features. So I think that's all for me for now. If you have any questions for me, do not hesitate. Shoot up right now or, later in email. Or on LinkedIn if you have me. But I think that's all for me for now. All right, thanks guys for the applauses, appreciate it. Brilliant, awesome guys, thank you for taking the time, really appreciate you. And let's keep in touch, and again, connect with me if you have anything to share with me, good or bad. Thanks again. All right, guys.